Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and I'm recording this a little bit earlier than usual because Gary is off and he wants to go out for more Turkish food. So he seems, I did say, you know, we could go, so now he really definitely wants to go. Plus we need to pop to the shop so he can excuse me, get some work food for when he goes back. He's only got 2 days off. So oh, I forgot to put my lamp on over there. Never mind. At least I haven't got a green face, which usually happens when I put that on. Always an upside. So, every day that goes by, my throat does seem a little bit better. It's not gone. I can still feel it. And last night, it was quite sore. You know how things always seem to get worse at night, in the evening? Well, that's kind of how it was. And I got really tired, went to bed and couldn't sleep. So I joined a few like little live streams, and then eventually I was able to get off to sleep, but I didn't think I would. And yeah, it was still kind of sore, a little bit hurty. Let me put my hand cream on. Beautiful, lovely hand cream that I had as Happy Melt, and it has no limonene, so that's perfect. Perfect. So the observant among you probably noticed I have this big stuffed ice yarn bag next to me. I had a notification saying that my parcel would arrive today, and I figured, oh, that is probably my ice yarn. And when he arrived, this chap that usually comes, he's a strange guy. I remember when he was brand new to DPD, he used to complain about the people up the road all the time. And I think he's Dutch. I'm not sure, but he seems Dutch, the way he speaks. And anyway, and he's ginger. That's not, no, not ginger people are Dutch. I was ginger, I'm not Dutch. I don't think I was Dutch. Anyway, I'm not ginger anymore, so I'm no longer Dutch in any way. But yeah, he said, oh, wait. And he came back out and he had another big box. So I had this big stuffed bag of ice yarn and a big box from James C. Brett. So I've got lots of yarn to sort through and to show you, and to drool over. But what you can't see on this big bag of ice yarn is the huge split that's in the other side of it, and it's massive. So I'm not sure if it's all there. They short delivered me one pack of yarn from the last order, and I said, can you put it in my next order then? And they said, sure, we'll do that. I've got to see whether they have and if there's anything missing, and I don't know how good they are if they need to refund you stuff, but yeah, so I'm gonna have to sort through that when I get back. Yeah, so anyway, big giant split, and normally their bags are quite sturdy, but this is stuffed so solidly that, you know, they should have double bagged it or put stronger. It's not quite as strong as the usual, or it's either that or it's stretched to the maximum, but it's got this huge split in it anyway. So fingers crossed it's not there. But you know, another thing they don't do, which they really should, whether you're a business or not a business, it should give you a delivery note, and it should tell you what you're expecting in that parcel, because now I've got to go back and look at my order and all that. But you normally get a delivery note, you can check it off, match it up with your order and everything, and it's not that way. It's all very loose. They need, you know, they don't have good systems, I'd say. They're not very au fait with that sort of thing. And the way that, you know, the actual whole process is odd. But, you know, I love their yarn. So, but the thing is, you know, I made my first ice yarn order a long while ago, and I did this unboxing. I was quite new to YouTube, and I spent quite a bit, and I got this big order. And I had all of the yarns that I thought were absolutely gorgeous at the time, but they didn't have I don't think I ever encountered Picasso then, whether it was new, you know, not around at the time. But I did get Universe, and I did get Rockstar, and I got Rosetto, beautiful yarn, loved that, and lots of others. And you know, I still have 99.9% of that yarn that I bought, because I've just been, oh, I can't use that, I won't have it anymore. And and I've used a very, very small fraction. I used the Universal Rockstar on my stall that I've not yet finished. I'm going to have to do that, you know. This summer, I'm going to do that. So, yeah, I've used it on that, but I still have a little bit left. And some of the magic glitz, they didn't have the rainbow one at the time. They only had the purples one. And I made... when Michael was married to Gemma, I made her a neck warmer because she worked in and out of freezers. She worked for a supermarket. I think it was a wholesaler, actually. But anyway, she was in and out. So I made her this neck warmer. I did a tutorial for it as well, actually. So I used that. And so the rest of it was just saved. You know, it's like the precious. I can't possibly use it. So it's all gone out of date now. No, I don't mean out of date. I mean, you can't buy it anymore. Discontinued, you know, it's not yarn that they've got. So I've got antique yarn, right? Antique ice yarn that, you know, there might not be any more left in existence, but I've got it. Now there's bound to be other people with a stash of it sitting there, didn't want to use it because it means it'd be gone, which is pretty silly when you think about it. But I know we all do that, all us yarn hoarders. We do that, don't we? We do. That we do. So I've just been helping Gary with his jigsaw puzzle because we had breakfast and he had done one that was lovely. It was all kind of jungle savannah kind animals, you know. It had lions, obviously tigers and giraffes, but it was so shiny and it was so nice. And he'd done this one. It's made of wood. And so you could pick it up afterwards and it wouldn't fall apart. But he always breaks them up. So he'd broken that one up and he's doing one that's all Spitfires. All different liveries, I guess you could say. So, but they're all Spitfires. And he'd not got all of the edges out. So I sat there sifting through this box of 2,000 pieces to find his missing edges. But I did it while I was drinking my tea. So, you know, I don't have a tea now because I drank it then, but never mind. He said to me, why don't you do jigsaws? I thought, well, A, what time would I have to do jigsaws? And B, I'd get a stiff neck. Because if I'm doing something like, they clean? You know, I just see my fingerprints all over. I've got this thing that cleans them somewhere. There it is. I knew I'd seen it. There we go. So, yeah, I get this problem, and it's after about 3 or 4 whiplash clashes, you know, in cars, that sometimes when I'm driving and I'm looking ahead, my neck gets stuck in this position, and then to move it, it goes click, and normally I just go like that just to free my neck up. But I do suffer with these neck stiffness problems and stuff ever since you know, a few of like various little car accidents that you have in your life. And so if I'm doing a job where I'm constantly looking down like that, or if I'm at the cinema and we're sitting at the side and I have to keep looking, or a theatre or something, and I don't have a front and centre seat, I know I'm going to get a stiff neck, especially if there's a draft as well. That's a shoe-in then. But I do suffer with that. It's a bit annoying, but I think doing a jigsaw where I'm constantly looking down would do me no favours whatsoever. And he said, oh, you know, help keep dementia away. So Victoria's bound to say, it's too late for that, love. Too late for that. But that's why I do my word games on my phone and a bit of Wordle and stuff like that. I do like to keep my hand in all of the word games. Wow. That's amazing now. Oh, I didn't know I looked like that. Perhaps I was better off with them dirty. So yeah, I do them to try and keep my brain active. My Brian. Keep Brian active. And yeah, so. But I don't think I could do them. I mean, I could do, you know, walk in, do the odd bit, walk away. That would be fine. But to sit there for any length of time, just constantly looking down, which is why I don't do anything like diamond painting or cross stitch, because again, it'd be like constantly looking down. Crochet, you don't, you know, mostly we don't look. Okay, so I'm a bit loath to get rid of this one. Oh, it's all groggy. So Tuesday, what do we have? A little scene from Tatooine, I believe. What's that all about? I don't know. A little salute-ish kind of thing. But there's my little Grogu. I've been writing my patterns on the back of those. I should have written it on the back of Grogu. And I'd keep it. Having it all feels almost impossible when all you want is for your kid to stop yelling. From an early age, we welcomed certain truths from our mum. The first being that she never just grabbing a couple of things at a store. She must have been a yarn shopper. At Grace Yupong Gracie. At Grace Yupong Gracie. Okay. Google history. What do you wear to a pop concert? What do mums wear to a pop concert? Orthopedic inserts, 1-day shipping. I always say, when it comes to gigs, they should make these shoes so that they look like they've got a small platform, but you press a button and it just, this little kind of crisscrossy crank goes up, and you're then standing on a platform like this big. I'd say something then, because the truth of the matter is, unless it's a sitting down, seated, I was trying to say sit in and seated at the same time. If it's a seated gig and I've got row A, I can see. But if it's a standing one, or I'm a different row and someone stands up, then, you know, forget about it really. I'm watching it on a screen, which is annoying. So I thought, you know, maybe I'd do this Dragon's Den one day and invent gig shoes. But then everybody would have them, and I'd be back, unless I could have taller ones in them, I'd be back to not being able to see. Because, you know, everybody would just be that much taller. Maybe I just have to invent them and patent them. Make one pair for me. And then no one else can do it because they're patented. Yeah. But I think that'd be a brilliant idea. Gig shoes. Kind of like one of, you know, those platforms that are all the way along. Like them, moon boots we used to call them, didn't we? And then you just press a button and they go like the $6 Million Man sound. I think they're a fantastic idea. Indeed. So yeah, I need those, but I actually am going to a gig, believe it or not. I'd not been to a gig for a long while and weren't gonna either. Because since I had my surgery, I do not have good stamina, and certainly for walking, standing and all that sort of thing for any length of time. So I've always said, when we get thinner and fitter, maybe I'll be gig fit again. So, but I'm going to see Bryan Adams. I cannot not to go and see Bryan Adams. The stupid thing was, he was in Canterbury once and I didn't go and see Bryan Adams. Now I've got to go to the O2 to see him, but see him I shall. Third or fourth time of seeing Bryan Adams, but it's got to be done, you know. It's got to be done. I do love a bit of Bryan Adams. That was my first real kind of, you know, when you're like young and you've got your taste in music and it's usually squeaky or young music. And then when you get older and you develop a bit more of a discerning ear, he was my first discerning ear. And my second was Bob Marley, believe it or not. It was kind of the music I remember when I was in my parents' house and I would be sunbathing in the garden, listening to the tranny. Like, that's a different thing now. A tranny is a transistor radio back in those days. You know, it doesn't mean I was sitting there listening to like Lily Savage or anything. Cause myself all kinds of problems with my gob. Anyway, yeah. a transistor radio. We used to call them trannies. Wireless. Listening to the wireless. Oh God. And yeah. And the music of my day that I would be listening to while I sunbathe, apart from all the naff songs I didn't like, was kind of Brian and Bob Marley. And one that I remember being one summer, that the song of the summer was Jolene. Do you remember that? When that came out, every time you put the radio on, the wireless, the tranny, every time you put it on, Jolene. Yeah, every time. And yeah, my friends used to call me Jolene because I had red hair. Went for a phase of that one summer. Oh, Jolene's here. With ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. You know, that sort of thing. And I'd be like, oh, give it up. So, another name I used to get called was TJR because I loved JR. And it was like, and I was just TJR, T for a cup of tea, and JR. Because that was my initials. And yeah, that was weird. But I loved JR when he was like Major Tom Nelson in I Dream of Jeannie. Doing. Remember that? I loved that programme so much when I was younger. And I had a major crush on Major Nelson. I did. And then when he became JRU, and I still had fond memories of him. So, and I always like the bad guy. I just do in things. I have got a thing about the baddies. It's I would never want them to lose. Not all of them. I'll tell you what I have noticed though, and it's not in any way associating Donald Trump with a baddie. You know, I'm not saying that. But when I go on YouTube, oh, I am absolutely dismayed at the stuff that pops up in my feed. Because there's always a picture of Donald Trump going, ah! You know, like shouting at someone. Or there's a picture of Prince Charles, oh sorry, King Charles. It's a king now. He got kinged when he. Anyway, him going ah, and Camilla going oh, you know. It's just like, and the load of rubbish headlines that they hook you in with, the clickbait of the thumbnail, and the content is their marriage is almost over. Camilla in tears. And then, can you go on Google and go, are King Charles and Camilla, you know, over? And it says, no, he's just bought her a puppy. It's like, what? And they do it all the time with Prince Harry, all the time with Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and they do it with Kate and William. They're now doing it with Camilla and Charles, and they do it because they know they won't answer back. Trump, on the other hand, going to answer back, isn't he? He's probably going to, you know, if he had a Tower of London, they'd be in it, you know, let's just face it. But he will do it, he will talk back. But they won't, you know, and that's the annoying thing for me. The amount of rubbish that comes up on, and the other one is, but, there's one earlier, right? People have taken their plastic surgery too far. So you got a picture of this very pretty 20-something-year-old blonde girl, and then something with all like great big channels in her neck and face, looking like something out of a horror movie, and you know that is not her. You know that is absolutely not her, and it's just all clickbait, and YouTube are doing nothing about it, and that is what really annoys me, because you know the trash content, it's mostly all AI, it is, but the trash content that's getting thrown into my feed all the time, and it can't just be mine, surely. But yeah, if I see where the heck they got a picture of Donald Trump going like this, or the king for some, I kind of, you know, it's got to have been computer generated. Surely they wouldn't pose for that, or they wouldn't. I can understand if someone's taking a photo of them when they're angry, but I can't imagine it happening. Can't you? Anyway, that's my soapbox moment. It's just so annoying. It's just absolute dribble, and people. And I've clicked into, this is where I've gone wrong. I've clicked into them, and watch some. So now they just throw more and more of it at me because they think I like it. But then you read the comments and there's people who genuinely swallow that stuff. You know, oh, you know, he's always been a tyrant, and that poor woman. It's like, oh, I wish they'd leave them alone. And it's just like, oh, God, wake up. It's dribble, for God's sake. Anyway, that's my sound off over with. Till the next one. But it's there, innit? You must have seen it, surely you must have. I can't be the only one who gets fed all this stuff. Where's the crochet gone? That's what I want to know. No, I do get some. I do. Yeah. This was, you know, something like pops up from the secret yarnery and you're looking at it, was 5 years ago. So what about the things she did last week? You know. Crazy. Crazy. Anyway, ran over. You can tell I'm better, can't you? I'm getting there. I've got the throat sore there at the minute. I can, oh, that wasn't pleasant. I pushed it and it hurt at the same time. But yeah, around here, that's kind of where it is at the moment. Surgeon tomorrow. I wanted to go. I wanted him to look at it. I wanted to kind of get a, you know, a good old prod and all the things that, you know, I goes a prod in here and he prods back there and he prods around here, and I wanted him to do all that and to have a good check. But when it's coming up, I always feel really tense, you know. And I know my sister was the same when she used to have her smear tests because she had a hysterectomy. And so she was, you know, she'd get all it before when she was under investigation. She'd get all like tense and het up about going. And then she'd go and she'd be relieved. But then she'd stop worrying about the next one because they were so many months apart for her, like 6 months. So she was in a perpetual state of worry about one, relief, worry. And this is how it went on. And I kind of feel the same. But there is part of me that thinks, you know, this is now my 5th year. It's been 4 years. I'm into my 5th. So after this year is up, it's goodbye. You know, you're discharged. And then I think, well, you know, I'm on my own now. And he did say, for the first year, if you have any problems, issues or worries, you call us, we'll see you. So although I won't be seen on my 5th year to the 6th year, I can still contact them and get seen. But after that, I'm on my own. It's like, no more prodding next year, no more checking. And that's kind of a, you know, taking that leap and moving on. Well, I hope I get there, you know. I hope I get there. I hope I get discharged and end up on my own at the same time. Because if I don't, that means it's back. And nobody needs that. Well, I don't. So, yeah. Yeah, so, you know, in some ways I want that to happen. In other ways, I really wish that I could still have like 1 checkup a year, maybe 2, just like keep it going. But I know that they've got like so many patients and some are in the beginning of that horrible journey that they face. And, you know, so I understand. I can't keep you on there forever, but it's a worry. It's a, you know, out on your own type situation. But yeah, in a way, it's a privilege to be out on your own. So I get there, you know. Well, goodness gracious, my chat this morning, it's been all my rants at once. Wasn't so much a rant as a worry, but yeah. So I didn't do any more crochet last night because Gary and I were watching Strike Back. We watched a couple. We were on a new season. And as I was flicking around after he'd gone to bed, I was a bit too tired by this time and I was sore again. So I thought I'd just watch something and then I'll go out to bed. And I was looking, because I'm watching Unforgotten. And I'm watching it on ITVX because I didn't want to watch the new ones. I want to go back and start at the beginning and catch up. So that's what I've been doing. And as I flicked on to ITVX, 4 seasons of Snowpiercer. And I thought, wow, you know, I've been waiting for Netflix to get the final season of Snowpiercer. And I've checked periodically and they've still just got the 3 seasons of Snowpiercer. And I've even Googled it and it said they have no plans to get it at this time. And you think, why would you do that? Why would you put a program on, and if there's 4 seasons and it's been shot and everything else, and you just don't bother getting the last one? It's like all those people that have watched it so far want to see the conclusion, but we're going to rob them of that. We're not going to do it. We're just going to leave it there. And another rant comment. It's annoying, don't you think, though? They play fast and loose with your what you're doing in life, you know, and I don't think that's so wrong. So when I saw that, it was like, yes, it might end up being a poor season, it might be an awful end, but I'll get to see how it ends. You know, it's up to me to watch how it ends. And there's so many times that they've done that to us, whether through writers' strikes or, you know, directors' strikes, actors' strikes, God knows why, but seasons don't get filmed, the final one, and you're just left in the lurch. When they did that with Firefly to make a movie, you know, things like that, it's just so wrong, you know. I think so, because, you know, some of us, when we get invested in a season or a series, you want to see it through to conclusion. You don't want to be just left dangling. No. Strongly worded letter of complaint I should have written. But I didn't. I don't need to, because simply I've got it on ITVX. Saviour. So anything else I can rant about before I go? Let me think. Must be other things that baffle me. No, can't think. Everything must be good in the world. Oh no. Oh, I had to raid the shop. It had to happen because I remember when Charlotte brought the kids over once, I had all my crochet hooks in the living room, and I had not just crochet hooks but darning needles and scissors. So I scooped them all up, and I remember sorting all these things out because I have several things like this full of pens and bits of scissor and Sharpies, and these ones where I've got all these different colours on, because when I put the tracking numbers in on the order forms, I like to do them in red or pink. That's very bright pink. Highlighter pens, all that sort of thing. So I've got a few of them, and some have got like knitting needles in, and it used to have a few that had crochet hooks. So I took them all out, put them somewhere safe, wherever that is. I have no idea. Somewhere safe. So the only ones I could find, where are they? Were these. Right. So yeah, you know, I'm not going to use that very often. There's my old furl. I didn't even remember where that was. A few knitting needles. This plasticky one. And this one. That's it. That's all I could find. So, oh, and the one I was working with, and up there it's a 375 because I was making something with it and I never finished it, and that's annoying as well. So I had to go, well, I'm gonna have to go and get some. So I went out and raided the store. So I've got a 4 because I wanted a 4, so I raided the store to get a 4. But then again, I found a Rico made by me 4, so that's what I did my tutorial with. The Rico made by me 4. But I thought, you know, I'm going to have to get a stash of hooks together again. Oh, how ridiculous. How ridiculous. Just can't understand where they've gone. I've searched everywhere that I can imagine that I would have put. And I'm at a loss. I am. And they're all tulip, with the exception of maybe a couple that are clover. They're just gone. And I've got a little wallet, and most of them, I've got 3 of these, and most of them slots are empty, and there's one that's got uber large tulip reds, and they've got like a 6.5 and a 6 and a 5, and there's a few of those in the gold. There's a few of them. All of them, they're all there. And all of the rosé ones that I've got, rose ones, can't find them. All of the red ones, apart from 2, can't find them. I just don't know where they are. So I really wish I didn't do that, you know. And in the past, when I've lost stuff, lovely, wonderful, helpful people have said, take a picture of where you put it. God, I never have my camera out my hand. I have to take a picture of everything I do. I need a video camera, like CCTV. I need just to keep tabs on what I'm doing. It's quite sad, really, when you think about it. I still don't. I still can't find my. I found my keys, thank goodness. Well, as you know, they just appeared in my bag when I had that bag completely out. And I run my hand around all of the inside bit. It was empty because I could squish it all up. But it suddenly appeared. That was a weird one. But, you know, where the heck are my crochet hooks? I just don't know. And the set of keys I can't find. Not the house keys, different ones. Just disappeared. I lose so much stuff. It's unreal, really. Anyway. This is why I kept my crochet hooks and knitting needles in them, because it is a crafty one that I got for Christmas once. I think I've got 2 of them. The other one's out in the yarn van. That might have a few in it from out there. I need to sort that out. The one good thing is when I bought this, I bought 4 big tubs, you know, for the yarn. And the other 2 orders filled 2 of them. And this hopefully will go in the other 2. And then I've got this big box of James C. Brett, and I won't have any tubs for those. But, you know, the weather is getting warmer. It's nice and mild. It's sunny now. It was raining earlier. But as soon as it's nice and I've got days on end, I'm going to start on that yarn van and be a bit more kind of mercenary about the things that I'm whether I'll keep them or not. I really don't know. I need to do that. I really do, because I've got 3 times as much space that I could utilise, you know, that's just taken up with, and I can't even get to my yarn anymore because there's all that stuff in front of it. So yeah, it's got to happen, and I will do it this year. Need to. There was something else. Oh yeah, since I've been ill, and I had all the problems I had first, and then I was ill, I haven't dieted. And at first it wasn't such a major thing because all I really could eat was soup. And it wasn't until kind of started eating food again that we've been making ourselves feel better by eating awful food. You know, I say awful food, it's yummy, but it is, you know, not slimming. So I said to Gary, like, I was going to say daddy. I said to Daddy, oh my God, how wrong is that? I said to Gary, we should start our diet again tomorrow. And he said, ooh, why tomorrow then? And I said, because we've got all those yogurts in the fridge. And, you know, that most of them are just yogurts to eat, but some of them are for our breakfast. And I said, we should get back on it and see if it works, stay on it. If we do it and we've not lost anything, or it's not really working for us, then once all that food is gone, we'll switch to low carb in for a bit. So I don't think Gary really wants to do it tomorrow, but it will probably either be Wednesday, I would say, because, you know, we've got the hospital tomorrow and a few things, and once all that's over with, then maybe we'll get it started once he goes back to work. I don't know, we'll see. But I know he's got a bit of reluctance to start. Yes. I don't know why I'm whispering. You can't hear me. But I know you know, and to be honest, we've been drinking a nice kind of hot chocolate of an evening from my velvetizer, which I got for my birthday. And yeah, it's hard to give those yummy things up, really. But to be honest, you don't have to give them up. The milk that you're using would be part of your allowance, but they do have rather a lot of sins in them. So I'd have to have no sins in the food and just have a hot chocolate or something, and that'd be fine. I wanted to keep it up. It's hard though, you know, mostly you do have a few sins in your day. Anyway, guys, I think I've babbled away long enough. So Tuesday for you, my tutorial will pop up. So I've set it so that Monday, which is today for me, is my open with me. Well, one of them. I haven't filmed the other one yet. And Tuesday is the first that pop up will be the left-handed, and then within a minute the right-handed will pop up. And I do that specifically because whatever is the last video that you pop up is the one it kind of shows you. And you've got like a top 10. And now if I were to put them the other way around, then quite often my left-handed one does not gain enough traction to to get pushed out. So I like to try and do that first. It gets pushed out. I don't know whether to leave it a minute or a little bit longer, but most people will then pounce on that one. Not pounce, but you know what I mean. And then the other one kind of doesn't get swept along quite as well. So it's a bit weird, really. I honestly don't know what way round is best to do it. There was a time when I did it on 2 different days, and yeah, that might be a way round it. Just do it on 2 different days. See how they pan out. I don't know. So I've written down the other one, the other little mitten, so that if I do want to do a tutorial, at least I've got it written down. And once Gary's gone back to work, I'll get stuck into my other tutorial again. Anyway, I'm going to get off and upload this. I will see you guys on the next one. And take care. Bye for now.